What's happening, folks? I'm Ian Mahood, and we are back on the Punchline podcast for episode 2. Today, we are joined by Andy Patterson. This guy has a tremendous story and is heading down a tremendous road. I'm buzzing for the news. One thing that stood out, Andy, and I had a giggle at it, I was like, that is class and it'll make a great intro, was a Facebook status that I had seen. Andy Patterson will be flying from Northern Ireland to try and take the King's crown when the big boys collide in bare knuckle boxing. So you've recently signed a deal to go over and take on the bare knuckle scene.
Yeah, I was signed with the Undeniable Fight Management.
Okay.
Stephen Rook. So he will be in charge of my bare knuckle and hybrid career.
Yeah. So that's where we are. Obviously I know you outside of here as well. I've been along to some of your fights, commentated on some of your fights. But I think the real story begins at the beginning, doesn't it? So
yeah.
Do you want to, for those that don't know you, do you want to tell us a bit about yourself and where you grew up and how we came to be where we are now? Born in Scarva, am I saying it right?
Lesbian.
Lesbian.
I moved to Scarva when I was 10.
Yeah.
My mum met my stepfather. And then he got me into horses. From there.
Class. Majestical big creatures, the horses, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's I've always loved them. My partner, I don't know why she has a fear of them. I don't know why either. I think I actually asked her once, what's the fear of the horses? I think her friend fell off a horse or got kicked by a horse or something, and ever since that she's just been dead edgy with it. But no, I love the horses, always do. Even if I'm driving along the road and they're in the field or like over close to the fence, I like to stop and have a pet at them. They're powerful, they are powerful.
They're beautiful.
And what was your role then working with the horses? Were you in the stables training them, exercising them?
So my stepfather, he broke horses in.
Yeah.
So he took young horses and got them ready for riding and that there.
So like riding in the sense of, was he preparing them for the likes of the races, or was it like a horse riding stable?
All different.
All sorts?
All sorts.
How often would the horse? So what's the regime, or what's the setup then for training the horses for racing, riding? How often would you have to exercise them a day?
Well, they'd be out probably twice a day. He'd be out long reining. He would walk miles with them in the long reins, proper old school.
That's him just walking on his feet holding the reins?
That's him behind.
Oh yeah, okay.
With long reins.
Like the cart?
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
So it's it's a lot of work.
And you did obviously working with them and training them in the stables, you'd have done a bit of riding with them yourself, or?
Yeah, so I joined the pony club. Went through pony club. Show jumped.
Wow.
Show jumped for the school team, and I went then into eventing.
Okay.
Didn't like the dressage part, so done more show jumping and cross country.
Okay.
And then I went to my first hunt.
Right.
And that was
adrenaline pumping stuff there.
Yeah.
I would imagine. See, whenever I lived in Spain, and that was the first, to my recollection, that was the first time I had ever sort of done any horse riding or whatever. But there used to be stables just up from where me and my brother lived, and we would have went in there. My brother went on a bit more than he'd done the jumping and stuff, but I would have been on them around the arena doing a bit of running with them, and then we went out walks along the road and stuff.
Yeah.
But I always wanted, even watching the horse racing, it's like, there must be some thrill at, like, because top end, what are them horses kicking out 30-40 mile an hour?
Horse racing easy.
And then they're leaping 6-7 feet Yeah. More maybe.
Yeah.
It's mad.
That is crazy.
It's adrenaline junkie stuff. Like no one would think of it like that either.
Hunting is for me the biggest adrenaline rush there is on a horse. Because you're crossing country.
Yeah.
That's and you're jumping natural
hurdles.
Natural hurdles, yeah.
Yeah, which sometimes aren't shaped as the kind of practice hurdles that the horse would be usually maybe used to jumping over. So they are. It's like a real life obstacle course.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah. Unpredictable. You're not sure what's on the other side. I can imagine that.
Yeah, it's scary stuff.
Did you ever have any bad falls on the horses?
So many.
Yeah.
So many.
It's inevitable, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
yeah. Because once I got in the hunt service.
Yeah.
So I moved from Banbridge. I had a little time out from horses. I fell in with the wrong crowd.
Okay.
Went down the wrong road.
Which happens sometimes, unfortunately.
Yeah. I remember waking up, I think I was 20 at the time. Becoming 20 maybe. I remember waking up one morning after a 3 or 4 day bender and just thinking I need to get out of here. I'm going to jail or I'm going to die.
You just came to that crossroads of like the reality. Yeah. What was your poison? Just drink and drugs or both? Or
drink, drugs, both.
Drink, drugs, both. Yeah. And it's so easy, especially when you're young. It's even easy as an adult too sometimes. Yeah. It's the wrong crowd getting you just at the right time for them. But it is so easy to have the carrot dangled and sort of almost be shown this is another thrill. But it's a dead end road, isn't it?
It's a very dead end road.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately if you're dealt the wrong hand, you don't know any different.
Yep.
You don't know anything outside of that life.
Yeah.
It's just normal.
Yeah.
And you see it more and more now.
I know. Well, see, this is part of the power of like doing these podcasts and stuff, is that everyone has a story, but also like we would deal with kids and adults and whatever, and it's making them aware and understand as well that you aren't alone in these wee things, and everyone's faced different things, and that is why I would love to have the inspirational people in like yourself with stories who have been there, reached there, hit that crossroads, and has completely swung it.
Yeah. It's when I look back, like to the person I was then, to what I've become is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm still struggle.
Yeah.
Life's not perfect.
No, it never is.
Every day I'm trying, and every day I'm getting better.
Yeah.
That's
a good test on your character and the man you are as well.
Yeah.
So it is. So what was that time you woke up that morning and went, fuck, things have got to change?
I just woke up. I was like, I need to go.
And you fell away from the horses and everything at this stage.
Yeah. So I took a bit of time off. Obviously, that life took over.
Yeah.
And
that must have had a massive effect as well, not just on you, but like the people around you as well.
Oh, big time.
Your support unit really that was there for you, and they're sometimes always the ones that get punished the most, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's like, but sometimes again the twists and turny roads of life, just they take us on spirals.
Yeah.
So what was the steps? We woke up when right something needs to change. What did we go back to the horses or?
I went. It all happened so fast.
Yeah.
So I went straight on to, I think it was Facebook, and seen what jobs there was in the horsey world. There was a job in Tipperary.
It's a long way to Tipperary.
Yeah, as a yard hand.
Yeah.
So I messaged them, and they said, "Come on down for an interview and a chat."
Yeah.
I went down, I think it was 2 days later. I actually said to my stepdad, I'm going down to Tipperary for a
job interview.
Job interview. he sort of just laughed it off, like you're not moving away, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And went on down, had an interview, got the job, came back up the road, packed my stuff the next day, and that was me gone.
I'm away. See you.
Jumped in the car. That was me.
Back to work. Back to something that you were truly passionate about and loved. And again, horses are a spiritual animal, aren't they? It's like there's something nice. Even I was in Rome not that long ago, man, and with my friends Lee and his wife Nikita and my partner and Ingrid, and we were standing outside. What do you call the place? Oh, we're standing outside one of the viewing parts anyway, and there was horses there, and I could, like, Lee and Ingrid and Nikita and stuff went and get into the queue, to go into the Pantheon. That's where it was, but I couldn't help myself stop and just stop and pet the horse, and they look at you weird, don't they? It's like it's they're class. Like I always say, like I would stop by them, pet them, and whatever. And my Sky, she would be the same. She loves horses. But so we were down then in Tipperary, back around that.
Yeah, so we went to Tipperary. I done, I think, about 6 months in Tipperary. My main goal, my main passion was to get in the hunt service. The yard I was at in Tipperary there was 2 yards. So there's one for the young stock, the up and coming, for show jumping and eventing.
Yeah.
And then the other yard for when they were competing.
Okay.
So I was down in with the young stock, just exercising, just general, looking after them every day.
Yeah.
The guys that run that yard asked what my main passion was.
Yeah.
And I was like, hunt service is where I want to go. And he came to me one day and he says, look, there's a job coming up in Wexford with one of the hunts. I know the guys that run it very well.
Yeah.
If that's the road you want to go down, I can
put you on the path.
I can take you.
Yeah.
And again, another quick turnaround. He made the phone call, and the next day he took me down to the
class,
to that place.
And at that time, I'm sure there was a mad buzz. Like, this is it. Things are happening. Things are lining up, and
it's probably one of the best times of my life I had.
Yeah.
I had in Wexford. It was crazy. Just it was a big well-known hunt. The whole everything was just revolved around hunting.
And everyone was there, the same mindset, and it was just
so I lived with a family, looked after me, just worked with the horses every day, hunted 3 times a week.
Right.
It was just an amazing experience.
Brilliant. And then, so how long were you down? How long did that last then in Wexford?
So that was probably I done a season in Wexford.
When does the seasons run for the hunts?
A season would be, you would start on foot.
Okay.
Around August, September.
And what are you hunting? What do they call it, the hunt?
Fox.
That's the foxes. Yeah.
So you're out with the hounds.
Yeah. Okay.
And you would run then to St. Patrick's Day.
Flip me.
17th of March.
Right. Okay.
And then you would have a couple of months.
Yeah.
Break.
But then you're in the stables then, and you're
still. Obviously, the hounds need looked after.
Yeah.
The horses, some depending, some of the hunt horses will go out. But there's still young ones in.
Yeah. And you're getting them up and sorted.
Yeah. So the next step from that, obviously, I worked with the hunt. I was out with them, but I wanted then to take the next step of being a whip. which is just second to the huntsman. So
Okay.
you're up front, you're
Yeah.
right hand man. He's got experience in Wexford. The season was coming, so the season had ended, and then that's whenever jobs come up.
Mm-hmm.
The huntsman down there said there was a job coming up in Portrush as a first whip kennel man.
Okay.
So went for that and got that, and that's how I ended up in Portrush.
That's how you ended up in Portrush. Nice part of the world.
That's not incredible.
No?
No,
Oh, it is incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I was going to say, well, I know there's bits of it's probably flipping, but I love it. I love getting up, especially in all weathers too.
Yeah.
Just driving up along the coast. I would go camping now and again, and I would go up through Portrush, through Coleraine into Castle Rock, and the last couple of camps I've done have actually been down at Benone.
Yeah.
On Benone Beach and downhill.
Yeah.
It's lovely, like, see sitting there at 11 o'clock at night, and it's like, it's not even dark. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So it is, it really, really is. Portrush is flipping. It's had some money put into it, hasn't it?
Aye, it's become the millionaire's playground.
It
now,
is
isn't
alright. Yeah, it is alright. Then, for those that don't know, there was flipping. There used to be a big amusement park there, Barry's.
Yeah.
But I think it's still there. It was
It's
bought
still
over,
there.
wasn't
I
it?
think it's called Curry's now.
Curry's now. Yeah, yeah. Always it was known for the big roller coaster, the Big Dipper.
The Big Dipper.
So it was. Were you ever on the Big Dipper?
It wasn't on the Big
No.
Dipper, no.
No. So the last time I got on it was after my motorbike accident. Whenever I come off, I was like, I used to be able to do roller coasters.
Yeah.
Like living in Spain. I come off that one, my whole head and everything was spinning, and it was probably the smallest one I'd ever been on. But my head was spinning, I'm bouncing as well. I felt dead sick and stuff. I was like, that must be me done with roller coasters. But so we came up to Portrush, and then how did things pan out there then? Whenever we got up for the job.
Came up to Portrush. I was in that. I was there for. I worked for them for I think 7-8 years.
Yeah.
7 years, and so I actually moved up on my 21st birthday.
Okay.
Yeah, so I worked there until I was 27, so 6-7 years with them.
In the position that you wanted as well.
In the position I wanted.
How are you feeling there when you're going out on your first hunt in the position that you're kind of in? It's like, fuck, I've made it.
It's
Yeah. Life's good.
Life's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about that line of work is, it's not a job.
Yeah.
It's a livelihood.
It's a livelihood. Yeah.
So you're basically getting paid to do what you love.
What you love, and that's that old saying, really, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like, find something you love to do, and you'll never work a day
Yeah.
again in your life, because it's not like work. You're motivated to get up. You'll get up earlier. You'll stay later. It's like, I know, I understand. Class. So then that lasted 7 or 8 years, which takes us up to, what age would you have been then?
I would have been 27.
About 27 then.
Whenever 27 I think is whenever I left that.
And did you start, because you worked the doors as well, didn't you? Were you doing the doors?
So I started doing the door probably coming up to just before I left there.
Okay. Did you know it was sort of coming to an end, or what? How did? Just an extra bit of cash going on the doors.
It was doing the doors was just a bit extra. Bit
Extra wonga. I know, we've all been
money.
there.
There's no money in hunt service
No.
at all. I think it's you're not in it for money.
Yeah.
I think I just fell out of love with it.
Just with it,
in the end.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I didn't want to leave the North Coast.
Yes. It was all about staying up around there, and
Yeah, the thing about hunt service is they'll move about.
yeah.
It's England, the south, the north, the different places. But I didn't want to leave
Yes.
the North Coast.
Yeah, and it would be hard to leave once you get up there and actually see the beauty of it. It is. It's a really, really lovely spot.
Yeah.
So we went on to the doors. Were we doing any training at that point, or
Nothing.
Nothing at all. We just
No, I done a couple of fab diets and
Yeah.
tried to go to the gym
Yeah.
sometime. I ended up quite heavy around COVID time, just before COVID, I just put on a lot of weight.
Yeah.
It happens.
It does, yeah.
I was hitting 19.5, 20 stone of bad weight.
Yeah.
So no training.
Yes.
Until I started in the door.
Yeah.
One of the guys that on the door with run a kickboxing club.
Yeah.
I actually think I was doing the door a couple of months and had to put my first person out heavy.
Yeah.
And I was absolutely fucked.
I know. Listen, I can totally relate. So I've been doing the door for a load of years, and I ended up in the limelight, but they had a good wee squad, and I was sort of coming in. I was never the biggest out of them.
Yeah.
And there was a tussle that was kind of. I think that was the night I was sort of like initiated, and everyone was like, "He's all right," you know. There was a big guy, and we had a bit of a tussle with him, but we managed to get him. But I didn't have any hesitation in getting in and sort of to helping him. But that's when I sort of as well got very heavy, and he was a big lump. Like that was the first big lump that I'd ever had to handle, and it was while we sorted it, it was like.
Yeah,
that was ropey there, you know.
It's hard. People don't understand the strength.
Yeah,
somebody has when they're full of drink
and the other
drugs,
stuff.
Yeah,
it's a freaky power, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a freaky strength, and it really really is. Even how they feel, like when you're trying to get them, it's like,
oh yeah,
it's almost like rigor mortis in a sense, isn't it? It's like they're just hard to maneuver and manipulate sometimes. Yeah. But. What was the buzz like there when you had to put your first guy?
The buzz was good.
Yeah.
But I was
heart racing for about 20 minutes. I was like, wow. Looking for the next one.
couldn't get a breath.
Yeah.
Looking for my inhaler.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, I need to do something. I need to lose weight or get fit or something.
Yeah.
He'd been at me a few times about coming over to the club. I think I started in January. Took the first step and went in. It's that first step of walking into a new place.
It's the hardest part.
Yeah.
It's the hardest part. The hardest part is getting off the sofa and getting through the front door.
Yeah.
That's the hardest bit. It always is, and even today it's still the same. The hardest part, even on a day, even you're demotivated sometimes.
Yeah.
But then once you get through the doors,
yeah,
you're grand. Once you get in and get warmed up and surrounded by motivated, driven individuals striving as well to accomplish something. It's infectious.
Yeah, for me it was with the motivation and obviously meeting new people would be my biggest strong point.
Yeah.
I'm a quiet guy. Keep myself to myself. So
yeah.
But once I got past that, and like you see, the people in combat sports in any club that you go to, are nice.
They are.
And
they are
helpful.
And you find that most of them, in some ways, are all connected. Some with the same habits, some with the same sort of upbringings. Yeah. Some, so everyone they're all connected. But what I love about it, no matter where you go, is like everyone's always dead nervous about, I'd love to join, but you're in there 2 minutes and people will speak to you and it'll make you feel like you've been there 20 years.
Yeah.
And we would get it sometimes as, if they all look, they're all too busy even doing their own thing. I would be surprised if anyone even, unless I say, yo, here.
Yeah.
No one's going to say, who's the new dude?
Aye.
You know what I mean? And if they pick you up in the change rooms or on the way in, they're talking to you already anyway. But it's, that's one of the beauties of, as you say, of combat sports. And it's worldwide as well. And there's always that respect there between martial artists and like combatants. No matter where you go in the world, when someone kind of picks up or recognises you through it, it's like you're treated different. Not treated different, but you're always treated well.
Yeah.
And there's that mutual respect there, isn't there? So when you got started, what was the first session like? blowing out your back end.
Brutal.
Nuts, what am I doing here? Type thing, yeah.
Absolutely brutal, but loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
It in its sense as well, there's another thrill from it. And once there's a hook to hit in the bag, and there's a hook around combat, I think.
Yeah.
And I think it's all naturally within everyone. But it does become like a drug and an addiction in itself, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's the way I would describe it, as an addiction.
Yeah.
Now, like that's what it is for me. That's what it feels like now.
Yeah.
It's an addiction, but it's a healthy
addiction.
A good addiction.
Yeah, and a good outlet and a positive outlet for all sorts.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So how long were we training before you decided, okay, I'm gonna have a go at this here. I'm gonna step into competition.
I think I was there about a month. I was like, hey, I want to fight.
Gonna have a go.
So I went to Derry, Londonderry, to watch Michael. He was one of the Polish guy.
Yeah.
I think he was one of the only active fighters at the time out of the club.
Okay.
Him and maybe another one or two, but he was the most active anyway.
Yeah.
Went to watch him fight. I think it was maybe the February. So I was only there a month.
Yeah.
Went and watched him fight, and I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
That's class.
Yeah.
So that was me then. I tortured the coach. He's like, when you're ready, we'll get you a fight.
Yeah.
Just tortured until
we got there, until we got it done.
Yeah.
So the first fight then, where was that? Was that here, or did you have to travel for it?
My first fight was in Strabane. It was K1. I think it was around the November time.
Okay.
So I'd only been training a short time. So that was my first time out.
Yeah.
Crazy buzz.
Yeah, it is. Nothing like it. And the feeling of being in the changing rooms, it all becomes, it's a different reality, isn't it? Knowing like I'm going out here to face another man.
Yeah.
And and the same feelings are at the other side too, but both of you are going out there, you don't want to underperform, and it's that competitive drive again. You always want to win.
Yeah. And
you face a lot, don't you? It's like the fight or flight going in, the nerves of what if.
Yeah.
There's a lot of self-talk, isn't there?
The emotions is start that again.
Yeah, no, that's grand. Yeah. That's literally how the emotions get you to sometimes. Yeah. It's like we'll have to have to focus here and switch on. But so the first fight went off without a hitch then? You went in and
first fight, second round TKO.
And was this in full contact? This was K1?
That's K1, yeah.
K1.
Amateur K1, so shins and shin pads and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was messy. It was my first fight.
Yeah.
I think everybody that goes for the first fight just goes out swinging.
Yeah.
Don't even like watching it back, but it's a start.
Yeah.
I was only training a short amount of time.
Yeah. And it was that's what put you on the road to kind of created the path as to where we are now. So how long was it between fights, between your first one and then sort of your second? Because you had a few low kick fights, didn't you?
I think I had 7 or 8 K1 fights.
Yeah.
So I
fought, and they weren't all just here either.
No, I fought in Wales a couple of times. I fought in Birmingham. I was meant to go to Canada, but
what was the experience like of travelling away for the first time to go and fight somebody?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I actually prefer that than
going away. You prefer the underdog role?
Yeah, and still to this day.
Yeah.
I just prefer being the underdog.
Because going into kind of the hostile territory in a sense, it's like the pressure sometimes of being the A side is taken away when you're the underdog, isn't it?
Yeah.
This guy's expected just to run through me. I'm going to upset the apple cart here, and
yeah. I think you've nothing to lose and you've everything to gain.
Yeah.
And I think that makes for a more dangerous fighter.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's whenever I'm at my most dangerous.
Yeah. Well, I've had the privilege of sitting ringside for 3, I think, of your fights, and
2 maybe.
yeah, and you can definitely see that where it's like, because the first time I think I came in, you were getting your hands, you were waiting to get your hand dropped or your medical or something, and I'd come in and I was chatting to you, and that's what you said. It's like, yeah, he's expected to come out here and batter me here.
I think that was Ran
Lennon, yeah. He's just expected to come out here and run through me. And, but that was you. Did you come into that fight at late notice as well?
Yeah, it was like Thursday night. I took that.
Yeah.
Against somebody that many people would have said that I shouldn't have been in the ring with.
Yeah, and you definitely held your own. You definitely held your own and stood out with the level of what everyone says you were going in with.
Yeah.
In comparison to yours at the time. But no, I did. I was really, really impressed that night. Especially for the short turnaround in which you took it.
Yeah. Even the second one, the most recent one you done, again, that was
another last minute job.
That was another 4 days notice.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And to be fair, I was commentating on that one, and I thought, at the time they were like, just watch it back, but I didn't feel like I needed to watch it back. I thought, and I think a few others thought, that I think you'd just done enough that night and cleaner work and ring presence, ring generalship, but I suppose that's part of the
game.
Part of the game, isn't it? You just, sometimes it's just not meant to be for you all nights, and
that just depends who the judges are. Just a lot of things come into factor.
Yeah.
I got in, done the best I could.
Yeah.
I'm humble.
Yeah. No, well, that's 100%. You're one of the most humblest, down to earth guys that I could say I know.
It's not.
You put you in the ring though, and that's what I love about the game as well. It's like the alter ego side. You put you in the ring, mate. You're a giant. You know what I mean? And you can see that presence and that kind of thing about you. It's like, I'm here for business, and
it's getting. Shit.
It's getting getting.
Fuck.
It's becoming more. It's becoming more and more prominent. I think.
Yeah.
The more you're fighting, and you're becoming more settled in yourself, and I think more settled, and there's more belief in your ability. And actually, I'm improving.
Yeah.
I can get these rounds done, and I can put boys away.
Yep. That's all, but
it's just maturity. No, it's all right. It's maturity in the game.
Yeah.
And it's being around it, and it's keeping the activity. And it's coming away from being a complete raw novice to coming into kind of being almost an elite or an open level fighter.
Yeah.
Because you done the glove boxing, and you done obviously the K1, but you ventured into the hybrid boxing. Now that says something different about you.
Yeah.
The hybrid boxing, you're in 4-ounce gloves, 5-ounce gloves?
4-ounce gloves, yeah.
And that was where you travelled away for that one, didn't you?
I travelled to Liverpool for that one, yeah.
So that was actually, you went to Liverpool for one, and then I remember seeing it before your last glove fight, the one that we just spoke about. I remember seeing a clip of you, and it was a peach of a right hand, and the guy did not know whether it was Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Yeah. Honestly, it was beautiful, just shaped up and great. Was that a punch? Was that something you were drilling in the camp? Because I know there was talk of jab to the body, pull the hands down.
Yeah. So obviously the danger with the wee gloves or bare knuckle, you start throwing wide hooks, you're going to break your hand.
Yeah.
So, it was work straight punches.
Yeah.
Work the body, get the hands to drop, and then throw the hooks. But the shot that you seen in the clip, before that shot, so I think it was a straight right hand, step back, change angle, straight right hand, drilled that.
It was just a money shot
at times.
But it just shows rinse and repeat in the gym. Practice, practice, practice. Although it might get monotonous at times, there's method in the madness.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing it. I was sitting on my phone, actually. I think it was in here after one of the sessions. I clicked on it and seen it. I was like, wow, what a shot. Yeah. And it was actually, I remember seeing you then in the Tully Glass when you were boxing and the boxing fight. I was saying, mate, get that right hand into play tonight. Do you know what I mean? It's flipping unbelievable. Unbelievable. But you're right as well, because it's a different, while it is boxing, your brain does have to work a bit different. And it is also where your fundamentals are key. Because as you say, you can't go swinging and waste punches. You have to be, it's pinpoint precision.
Yeah. It's all about precision, and it's a lot faster than boxing.
How did it feel? So this is where I'm completely a stranger to this end of it, to the hybrid and the bare knuckle. Although I have a couple of guys, one of my other mates actually is fighting. He's fighting on a show. I think it's just before your one. He was telling me about it the other week, and when we're talking, it's the same. Nothing can be wasted.
Yeah,
you have to be kind of precise. So you're sitting in the change rooms, you get your hands wrapped, and then these wee tiny gloves go on. Mm-hmm. Like what's that feeling in your head? It's like a deep breath feeling, like Jesus Christ.
I can't even explain it.
I can imagine, and I would imagine that would be the answer. To be honest, you know what I mean? It's like
the best way I can explain the emotions and feelings that I went through that week and that night.
Yeah,
took me back to my first fight.
Yeah,
that adrenaline.
Yeah,
was something.
You can't. Yeah, no, you can't explain, and it's always hard to flip and replicate, isn't it? It's like. It's always hard to replicate, but it's kind of going back to, you're just literally taking the boxing right back to almost like it's barest form, aren't you? And you're a man leading the way in it. You're stripping it back from the padded gloves, right down to kind of still padded but next to nothing on the hands.
Yeah. And
then now here we go. We're just going to wrap to there, close our fists. And we're going to go at this now. Yeah. There's something gladiatorial about that.
Oh yeah.
Even the thought of it for me is like. Now we've all had our fair share of flipping fist fights.
Yeah.
Outside through work and whatever, just growing up, but there's something different about. This isn't a guy thinking he knows what he's doing and just recklessly swinging with another guy that thinks he knows what he's doing. Yeah. These are two guys that, if they touch for one another, are going to split each other, knock someone out.
Yeah.
There's a difference to that, Andrew, you know what I mean? And it's like, even this boy's going to be... There's a bare knuckle guy I would watch, everyone would know him. He was a former professional boxer, isn't it? Tyler Goodjohn. Yeah. I remember seeing... He was the first fight I properly saw on YouTube of the bare knuckle, like where it was regulated in the ring and whatever. Yeah. And he was fighting this guy... And the boy was throwing punches, and they were just glancing him here, there, moving like he was glove boxing. It was unbelievable, but the precision of his punches, you could see a couple of times he tried, but because the hand was up or whatever, he like kind of held it and just moved. And it is literally it's a hammer fist like of a jab, and you're wanting to try and get the soft spots, but around them's all the flipping, the jaggy bits, isn't it? I mean, it's, you're going to have to be 100% switched on, times 10, aren't you there? It's like, because a mutual friend of ours, Phil Campbell, I think he was Ireland's first bare knuckle fighter to take a belt, but I think it was the first uppercut he threw. He actually says he smashed his hand.
Yeah.
Now he got the knockout. He stopped the guy, but that's the dangers. Guy drops his head down or drops the arm down. It could be lights out for one of the weaponries, like, you know what I mean? But
that's one of the biggest risks.
Yeah.
Rest of it.
Damaging your hands early, damaging up early. So how's your preparation? Has your preparation differed any? Even going into the 4-ounces?
Well, sparring and that's all been the same. Still sparring, headgear, 16-ounce gloves.
Yeah. Are you thinking more about what you're throwing now as opposed to just going out and trying to
Oh yeah.
land big, overwhelm them a wee bit, win the round? Are you thinking kind of precision with your punches now?
Precision, and I'm personally working on counter striking.
Yeah.
And timing.
Yeah.
Just being second, but being first.
Being first, yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And that timing and reactions again in the bare knuckle too, but in the glove sports it's the same, but more even for bare knuckle. The guy could come out and throw a jab, you take a step back, throw one punch, it's over. You touch for him, that's it.
That's the beauty about it.
And people wouldn't realise either that actually, and I would stand up and say it, it's safer than it's probably safer than boxing.
Yeah, 100%.
For the reasons of, rather than getting, you take that right hand with the gloves on, be it 8 ounce, 10 ounce, 12 ounce, the amateurs, whatever.
Yeah.
You take it, you wobble, but you're taking another maybe 4 or 5 or 6 if your legs go.
Your brain's getting rattled.
Yeah. Where I make a mistake, you touch for me in the right spot with a bare fist.
You're going to sleep.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's over. I think that for me, that's the kind of on the edge of the seat. Like,
yeah.
I would honestly, I would genuinely, hand on heart, I would love to do it.
Yeah.
And I've said it for ages. I would love to do it, but
you'd be a dangerous man in there.
Oh well, sure, I don't know about that. I don't know about that now. I'd be like I would snap, crackle, and pop now. I think so. But no, I would flipping. I would love to try and I would love to have a go at it. But even just to be ringside for one, it would be class. And I actually think I might make it ringside for 2 or 3 this year.
Yeah.
Which is good.
It's so different.
Yeah.
I've cornered bare knuckle fights.
Even the sound of it.
The sound.
You know.
It's bone on bone. Like it's the blood. It's even being ringside or in the corner.
Yeah.
The adrenaline rush that you get.
What do you think of Connor Cook?
Connor Cook's one of the...
He's leading the charge, isn't he?
He has the art of it.
Yeah, he has.
To a T.
And isn't a stranger going in there either. That's what makes him... I think that's... Well, for me anyway, that's what makes... I'm going to tune in and watch Connor. Not only because we've come up around the circuits with him and stuff, but it's like... This man's dangerous, like, you know, and he's effective.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're big boys he's fighting too.
Yeah.
Like, they're all big boys at that stage, and it just takes one, you know. But I think he's looking to. Is he starting his own promotion? I think.
I think he's trying to start the first.
Fair play. So he would have been the first to go. And it's the BKB, isn't it? That promotion?
Yeah, he's with the BKFC.
BKFC, that's it. Yeah. That's it. BKFC, that's right. And he... I
think he's the only one from
here, yeah, that's right. And I think at the time they were looking to bring it, I think it still is possibly in the pipeline, to bring a big promotion here with him headlining.
Yeah.
But... So, that's... And it's always good to have... kind of them boys laying out the path and
100%.
Setting it all up for the likes of yourselves and everyone else coming up behind them. I mean, it's class. I love it. We've such a talented pool of not just boxers or like combat sports artists on this wee island, but like sports people in general. For such a small wee island, like what in terms of sport and everything else, what it produces is unreal. But who approached who then for the bare knuckle side of it? Was this, did you think after fighting in the hybrid, God, I want to get this off and go bare fists, or were you approached? Or
I was interested in bare knuckle since probably I started training. I wasn't trained that long. Rory McCarthy, he lives in Liverpool now.
Yep.
He used to train out of that club. And he was going for his first bare knuckle.
Yes.
And he was home for a weekend or something, or a week.
Yeah.
And he was in sparring and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And we were just chatting, and I watched it. I was like,
yeah, I want a piece of that.
I want a piece of that there.
Yeah.
But also I needed to gain experience.
Yeah.
It's not something that you want to walk into.
Yeah. You don't want to walk in blind. No way. No way.
So yeah, I always said from day one when I turned 30, so that would have given me 3 years of training and fighting, I will do bare knuckle.
Mm-hmm.
And
here we are.
Here we
Goal
are.
achieved.
Goal
You're
achieved.
absolutely smashing it. So who did you sign with, or who was looking after you in that sense?
So I'm signed with Undeniable Fight Management.
Yeah.
Which is Stephen Rook.
Okay.
He's originally from here as well.
Okay.
Lives in England now.
Brilliant.
But he fights for BYB. He signed with BYB.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the opportunities that he's creating for people from this island.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So shout out to Stephen.
Big shout out to Stephen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And so that leads us, as well, you're saying by the time you're 30, let's not forget you didn't take the combat sports till you were 27?
27 I started training, yeah.
That's been a mad 3 years, Andre, hasn't
it's
it?
been
From start to now. We're not finished, but from start to now.
Yeah.
That's and it is also a great thing to put out there. It's like you're never too late to start.
Never.
It's never too late.
I'll say I wish I started earlier.
Yeah.
But I mean, just go.
But it's the cards you're dealt, and things will line up, and what's for you are not meant to go by you. And I do believe things are put in front of you and delivered to you at all the right times for all different reasons.
Yeah.
And you obviously, we touched on it at the start. You had that wee spell where you came to a crossroads and you knew what your options were.
Yeah.
That probably is a driving force, as well as many other things, as I need to keep going. But it also give you that resilience, because coming away from kind of that bad spell into something else, you always would. I'm sure the urges were always wanting to pull you back. So that's mental resilience.
Yeah.
And character.
Yeah.
Which has now probably set you up, along with many other things, to go down this road that you're on now.
That's a massive part in it.
Yeah.
I think most fighters come from some sort of background. Like it's completely changed my life in terms, like I was the fat kid in school.
Yeah.
Like got bullied, no friends, went home and spent time with my horse, my pony.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was me growing up.
Yeah. Now you're walking out in the arenas and like venues packed full of people, and they're cheering you. They're there for you. They're there to watch you, and it's incredible. It's incredible. I love the stories of that, but also running alongside as well. It's the fear of not wanting to go back to that bullied kid. It's the fear of not wanting to go back to lying there looking at the ceiling going, what the fuck am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
It's stay in front of it, and it's you versus you, really, isn't it?
That's your biggest opponent's yourself.
Yeah. And a lot of the times, it's what people wouldn't understand, but sometimes we talked with the guest on our last episode, and it was like, some people don't realise even the shit that's going on outside when you're preparing. And then you're getting in there and you've all sorts that you're dealing with, not just... But so it is always you versus you. Life shit, this situation shit was a bit of a bad round, but have to get through it. We're here now. This is reality. Face it, deal with it, adapt and overcome.
Yeah.
And that's a massive lesson in for everyday life, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would say sometimes you take it's a half step back method. So if we're boxing and the exchanges are a bit hot and heavy, tip for tap, you're blowing it a wee bit, take a half step back, assess it, get your situational awareness about you, control and an assessment on the situation. Half step back, breathe, reassess, start again.
Yeah.
And that's something we carry through our skills programs with some of the kids with like anger problems.
Yeah.
Once we get them hooked and running through our boxing program, we teach them about the half step back and lateral movement.
Yeah.
Half step back, take a walk, and figure this out. But the important thing is, don't take a half step back and then just accept. Half step back, take a walk, reassess it.
Yeah.
And try again. It's all about, because the next exchange or the next punch is yours.
Yeah.
Isn't it? You know what I mean? And but based on your decision, whether you want it or you're just going to let him have it, in a sense. So, is it class? It's brilliant. Like, so, July 4th?
July 4th.
Where are we flying to? Where are we going?
We are for Rotherham.
Rotherham?
I'm saying that right.
Yeah. I'm probably saying it wrong too. I was going to say Rotterdam, but Rotherham.
I think there is two. Is there two?
I think so. Yeah. Rotherham and Rotterdam, but I think it's Rotherham's the right way to say it.
I'm pretty sure it's South Yorkshire.
Yeah. So we're heading over there, and it's no small feat we're taking. We're going over here to challenge the giant. What is he called? The Yorkshire Giant.
The Yorkshire Giant. Yeah.
We're taking him on in his backyard.
Literally, yeah. His hometown. So he's Olympus's current heavyweight champion.
Okay.
So yeah, fly over.
You're taking on the champion in your first ever fight.
Yep.
Again, says a lot about you, and it's the grit, determination, and belief in yourself.
Yeah.
And trust me, like, and I've said this to you before, if anyone can do it, and I don't dish out the compliments lightly, or I don't waste them. See, if anyone can do it, you can, like, you can do it, and I believe, I genuinely believe it. It'll all be not letting the occasion get to you.
Yeah. This is where I like being the underdog. This is where I like being the away fighter.
Yeah.
I am going over with nothing to lose and
everything to gain.
Yeah.
You beat this guy, you're the champion, and you're the man.
Yeah.
That's you. It's
gonna lead the way for bigger shows, and
it is. And we're going over there, and we're going over there with the mentality of winning, and that's what we're training for, and that's what we want.
Yeah.
But even regardless of the decision, I think this is a win-win for you.
It is.
You go over here and take this guy the distance.
Yeah.
Rough him up, and you're there in the mix.
Yeah.
It's a win-win for you here. You stand to gain regardless of what happens.
Yeah.
But I do think, genuinely, my personal opinion, I think you're going to be overlooked.
Yeah, 100%.
I think you're going to be overlooked. Who's this guy think he is coming in with honestly, I think you're going to be overlooked. I think there will be a few tests on yourself, maybe early. And I firmly believe that if you can get the game plan set right and you can execute it, you win.
Yeah.
How is the fight scheduled? Is it 3-2s, 5-2s?
It is 5-2s.
5-2s?
Yeah.
Pace is fast, and but again, the pace is fast, but nothing's wasted.
No.
Because of no padding, no nothing. It's bone to bone.
That's just what I need to stay calm.
Yeah.
And pick my shots.
Know where you're touching them.
I know this guy comes out to finish first round.
Mm-hmm.
So
it could be a case of touching him in the right spot, weathering the storm, spoil him.
Yeah.
Spoil him early.
Yeah.
That's
the plan.
Yeah. I cannot wait. I genuinely cannot wait. And like I said earlier, we're going to try, hopefully yours is one of the ones we're going to try and get over.
Yeah.
Because there's a few other guys who's like, I would go. I would love to see the burn up.
Yeah.
So hopefully we could even maybe do a shoot after the fight. If we get across and we're sitting here with a belt.
It'd definitely be good to get back on after the fight.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then, as you say, you reach the top of the mountain, and the Yorkshire Giant, he's called.
Yeah, Yorkshire Giant.
Yorkshire Giant, well.
And rightly so, he's fucking
heavyweight division, or it's a heavyweight?
I'm moving up to heavyweight for this.
Yeah. You fight at cruiserweight usually, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I've been fighting a cruiser, which I like.
Yeah. How do you find making the weight at cruiserweight? It's handy enough?
It's handy enough. I'm never killed.
Yeah.
I have to work for it, but I'm very disciplined, and but I think that's why I do it.
Yeah.
I like the discipline.
Yeah.
It keeps me focused.
Well, by the time this goes out, I think we're about a week away. So the buzz is real, the hype is real. And guys, if you aren't already, get on and follow this man, Andrew Ironside Patterson. Where can people find you and to keep up with you?
Instagram mostly. It's all fight related.
Yeah, all the fight related stuff. Hop over and get this guy on Instagram. So what we did and what we always want to do here is listener questions.
Yeah.
So we actually have some here. So what
Why is
will we?
Jack smiling?
Yeah, we actually have some here. Okay, so we'll just randomly select a couple, and we'll always try and give a few people a wee bit of time. There's a good few here actually. So there is. Okay, so here's one here from, it's an Instagram account, Stripey.
Stripey.
How hard does Andy think he will hit ungloved?
God.
I don't even think it's about power with the ungloves. I think it's just about...
No, I would be wary of hitting full power
Yeah.
ungloved.
For again, like what we talked about,
Sure.
potential wrong spot or...
If the shot's there
Yeah.
and the timing's...
If the shot's there and the timing's right, you're taking it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Class. Well, I believe watching you again from delivering that peach of a right hand in the hybrid gloves, I would say it'd be pretty devastating.
Yeah.
It'd be devastating part. If you knew it was there, hands are down, the opposition's in a vulnerable state, and you plant your feet and just drive it in, I think it's lights out before your punch even leaves his chin, to be fair. And that's just from me seeing you fight before, listening till you crack the pads, and obviously seeing the damage you've done with the hybrid gloves.
Yeah.
How many hybrid fights have you had? Two?
Just one.
Just the one?
I done that one to get me ready for bare knuckle.
Bare knuckle.
Just to... It's sort of like how you say that word?
Yeah, like an introduction
in the bare knuckle.
As close as you can get without it actually being bare fists. So another one here from James Mack. What was the hardest challenge Andy has faced to date? I'm not sure if that means in career or in life, but we'll go with, well, you could take that question wherever you want to take it. Hardest challenge in your career so far? I don't think we've had any.
No.
No?
I flew to Birmingham. And fought a guy, an up and coming prospect, K1. Took COVID. Couldn't train for 3 weeks before the fight. Still had COVID that week. Was told to pull out of the fight and went anyway.
Yeah.
I couldn't breathe, but I mean, apart from that,
yeah,
I still took it to a close split decision.
So, funny story in terms of relatability. Whenever I was kickboxing, I remember fighting a guy one night and it hung over me for years. I thought I had a chest infection.
Yeah.
And I knew in my own head going in, it's like, I don't know if I can last the fight.
Yeah.
And I tried to end it quick. So in the first round, it was like, I know myself, I've about a minute and a half of pushing. And after that, I'm in survival mode.
Yeah.
I was kickboxing. And I did, I was landing. And on the cards, on the judges' scorecards at the end of the fight, I talked to the judges and stuff after it. Yeah. And actually, recently I was talking to a judge and he still referred to me. He was like, that's a fight you should have got back.
Yeah.
But I was ahead on all the cards, and in the last 10-15 seconds of the third round, it was so annoying. The referee waved it off. But I was ahead on the cards. Yeah. My corner had kind of signalled 15 seconds, 20 seconds, whatever it was. And I was like, right. I couldn't, when I was breathing, I felt like I was kind of gargling, with the crap in my lungs and all. And I went back, I was on the ropes. And I kind of knew in my head, I was like, I'm landing, but he is walking through most things. I'm kicking, and it's just bouncing off him. What I was landing should have been putting him over.
Yeah.
Especially how training had been for me and how strong and fit I was before I took ill.
Yeah.
So there was that. And I remember, I had clocked that he was going to throw a 1-2 hook and then throw his back kick. So in my head, I started counting down 15 seconds, 14, 13. Jab, back. He was he had the advantage in reach, and I had went back to the ropes. He threw a jab, I think I blocked it, or I parried it. He threw a right hand, I remember just shifting it, and he went to throw a left hook, and just as I went to roll it, the referee came in between us. And I was like, initially I was like, thank fuck for that.
Yeah.
But then there was a bit of a protest.
Yeah.
When I was walking back to the corner. What the hell? And I'd realised, like, fight, stop the fight. But at that time, I wasn't even gutted.
Oh, you thought it was the end of the...
I thought I got it right, kind of down, that was it. Yeah, I thought that was it. I've got through it, I've got the win.
Yeah.
And obviously there was a bit of a flipping uproar and whatever. But all I wanted to do was, I don't even care, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
You know, I can't breathe.
But it says a lot about us and what,
stubborn.
you know, to go and do that in them conditions. I mean, the shit that you go through, or we've been through, is nothing compared to...
No, and it's just another hurdle and another mental battle.
Yeah.
Now I had, if my training team at the time had knew how bad it was, I have no doubt in my mind they would have went, well, you're not fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not fighting.
Yeah.
But I had sort of says, look, I'm feeling a wee bit unwell or whatever, need a rest, I think I've overtrained, I've went running and done stuff I shouldn't.
Yeah.
I think I'm just burning out. So they had said, that's all right, that's grand. My coach at the time said, take a wee day or two off. And I went into hot baths with Vicks on my chest, everything. And it was just the closer it was getting to the fight, even on the night, it was like, this is getting tighter. When it was warming up in the changing rooms, jab, bang, 1, 2, boom, boom. And I could hear the wheeze. I was trying my best not to even breathe, you know, for the wheezing in my chest. And I was like, fuck, I need to go to the doctors. But I knew if I had went to the doctors even previous and they put me on antibiotics, I said, you're not, like, don't be fighting, like. But in the first round, I knew I just felt it. And even trying to get a drink in between the rounds.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the instructions were. Nothing. The whole thing in my brain was just fucking breathe. Yeah. Try and find a gap somewhere to just get a breath. But
I remember going back to the corner like I can't breathe.
Yeah.
I couldn't get a breath. I was coughing in between exchanges.
Yeah.
You know. And you know, it's maybe having to take a step back and circle around.
Yeah.
To catch my breath and have a wee cough and then back in.
I know. And it's trying to do that without kind of giving the other guy an incentive.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, are you coughing here? The pace has dropped a bit. Because anything, the opposition, you would do the same yourself. If you're in there and you catch a boy to the body or you're in a clinch and you hear, you're on it.
100%. I'll never forget it. I don't know if somebody told them that I was sick or had I played it as a chest infection, obviously. Didn't tell him about I had COVID or definitely wouldn't be allowed to fight.
Yeah.
I don't know if somebody had told him and his team or what, but I'll never forget hearing his corner, punch him in the chest, punch him in the chest.
You're standing there going,
no, please don't.
Do not touch me in the chest. Oh, do not touch me in the chest. So we'll do one more. Right, this one isn't so much a question; it's more of a comment, really. Andrew is awesome. I wish him all the best. That's from a guy, Agnew121.
Thank you.
So, don't know, maybe a guy on the bare knuckle scene, or maybe from up around that knows you're following you, or
all licensing maybe.
Could possibly be. Andrew, we approached this with the pre-fight jitters and the pre-fight nerves are going in, and I don't know, but we've reached the conclusion and the end point now.
Yeah.
So hopefully I see you in Rotherham.
Yes.
Hopefully we're there, mate, ringside.
Hopefully I haven't sent you the wrong place.
No, I know we're standing here in Rotherham and he's in Rotterdam. But hopefully we're there ringside to see you lift the belt, and maybe we'll get the belt round our waist. We can come back on and talk about the next step in the journey. But thank you very much for coming on.
Yes, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Not a problem. And as I say, anyone wants to follow Andrew's journey into the bare knuckle world, you can get him on Instagram. What's your Instagram, Andy Pat? We can link it into ours, but
Andy Pat 94 or something like that.
Andy Pat 94. If you're struggling to find him, you can find him on our page, the Punchline Podcast. We'll tag him in and link him in some posts. But Andy, From myself and probably from all of us here, all the very best of luck.
Yes, thank you
and
very
absolutely
much.
smash it. And thank you.